Okay, lady. So I just got an email from a company that I worked for not that long ago. So I was working at Focus on the Family, and I did a really good job there. And then there there was a company I was working for that hired me, and there was some harassment there, right? So I made it known to Focus on the Family that there could be third party harassment because I didn't get all the information out about what was going on, right? So I let them know. I let them know in an email exactly what I thought and stood up for myself. And they were like, they got back to me. And they handled this very well. They're like, we, are praying for you, and we just want to let you know we would be happy to offer you work again if you can just give us an application of all your skills. And even though this did not fall on them, this is a Christian organization that was willing to communicate and work it out, and that's what I wanted. So I'm like, thank you so much for communicating. And this is a very big thing for post abortive women. And I actually told them that. I'm like, women who have had an abortion, who have been forced into abortion, it is so vital, the communication, to be the communication that plays into relationships around her are extremely vital. So, because you've had the broken relationships before, you've been treated, mistreated, and treated like trash, okay? Totally treated like trash. You are a pregnant woman, okay? So we have laws against hitting a pregnant woman, right? If you usually, kill or kill a pregnant woman's baby or kill her, you have two murders you're dealing with, not just one. So, in a society, most of the time you grow up in a society where people are very gentle with a pregnant mother. At least back in the day, you see a pregnant mom, and you're like, let me pull up a chair for you. Don't overwork. Women are working now when they're pregnant, which I think it's going to depend on the work that whether they should be working or not. I know for me, um, I was really nervous with my first one about making sure I was as healthy as I could be as far as work. So I stayed home, and I'm like, it makes more sense to have Medicaid than to work, which it did. And luckily, because I took good care of myself, when my placenta did start to separate, I was okay, and my baby was okay. I was walking with my aunt Kim. She had her baby 3 months ahead of me, and we were walking together. So I was taking extra good care of myself. Um, so I feel like that was part of that. That played into it with the good care. When the placenta started separating, I feel like I already had a good foundation with taking good care of myself. So there is a certain amount of care, right, that we give to women who are pregnant over women who are not pregnant, right? So I was just saying, I was telling them, it's really important to have good communication. And this is something that I don't think we talk about in the pro life movement. I thanked them. I told them I had moved on. I'm working for another ministry now with work. So I have this huge building that I went to yesterday, and I will be working there, and it's ministry focused. So like if you miss a night, like there's a snow night or something, and they don't have work for you, you still get paid for that because they're ministry minded. So I'm like, thank you so much for offering me work. Thank you for doing that. I so appreciate. It wasn't even the work because I'm not based on money, I'm based on principles. So I just said thank you for the communication, and just so you know, this is how post abortive women tend to be. They've been mistreated. Someone's killing your baby, okay? So that is huge. And even if it happened long ago, you weren't allowed to talk about it. So finally, you can talk about it. And, it's important that not only the communication be there, but really good care. Okay. So, um, you don't want a bunch of broken relationships, right? You want really good relationships. So I thank them for the communication. I let them know how post abortive women tend to be, which is very defensive. You can be very defensive because you know that you need to protect yourself. There's still that sense of self protectiveness that you had to go through when you were laying on that bed, so to say, bed, doctor's bed, right? And when you have something happen that there's nothing you can do about it and you feel totally helpless, you have to find a way to cope, right? So for most women, I think this is true because you are having a baby killed. Your baby is actually being killed in your womb as you are laying there. You have to find somewhere to go, right? You can't get up, you can't protect your baby, so you are going to have to protect yourself with some kind of either disassociation when you're on that bed or some way to protect yourself. And many times when someone comes up against you later on in life, you're going to put that wall back up. You're going to protect yourself, right? Because you can try, and even like now I'm like, like I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I've been trying to find work and it's been a challenge, and I'm like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just, trust God with this. And then I have this divorce thing with all these lies coming at me that aren't even true. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? And before, it would be like, definitely fight. And it's now trust God. Trust God. You can give it back to somebody, but trust God. So, anyways, these people wanted to give me a job. They're like, they weren't just going to hand it to me on a platter, but they're like, yeah, fill out your application. They knew that I had been fired unjustly. So, it wasn't them who fired me, it was the company I was working for that did unjustly. No communication, just I told them that I was being harassed and I filled out, I told, security what happened, and then these people were just like, you better come in now and talk to us. And I was like, not today because I got something else going on. Well, we want the key and we want this. And so I left it on the steps for them, thinking I'm not going in the building because I don't want to be accused of anything, right? So then they're like, well, we took that as, your resignation, which wasn't the case. But, anyways, Focus isn't the one who fired me. So they actually, it wasn't even their fault what happened, and they went the extra mile to make sure I had work. So I thanked them for that, and I said, I'm all set. And I do have work, so I'm all good. I don't need to, fill out an application with them. And the other thing is, I'm not sue crazy. Like, when I was growing up, there was this guy, and this is funny because I think God probably put him in my life on purpose, thinking about this. There was this guy, my dad worked for Hutter Construction when I was a kid, and there was this guy, Paul, uh, Champagne, okay, the Champagnes. We used to go over my dad's boss, they had a pool, wicked nice house, everything, right? And I used to hang out with their daughter, Lisa, and I don't even know if they're still alive. No idea if the parents are still alive. This was in Pembroke, New Hampshire. So we used to hang out. There were other people that I used to hang out with when I was a kid too. I don't know, one of their friends. I used to go to the coon shoots when I was a kid. So just tons of people I've been around. So, anyways, he was known for being sue happy. He was known for going around suing people, and that's how he made his money. So I was telling Focus that no, I'm not like this. I'm not a sue happy person. I don't go after people, even though there has been many times I could have sued someone. I could have sued the Broadmoor for wrongful termination. I could have sued another company, and I didn't. I could have pursued this and I didn't. Not only because of that guy was known as a Sue Happy person, but as a Christian, we're told. You know, if anyone has an offense against somebody, forgive them. Don't be people who, if you have a complaint against somebody, work it out quickly. You know, don't hold on to grudges, don't hold on to offenses. We could go on and on, like in my divorce, I could go on and on with, offenses. And the point is, you can either choose to be gracious and kind, or you can choose to hold on to offenses, right? It's your choice. So, um, back to my work, I just thank them. And, it's God who provides. It's not, don't look to people for money because God is the one who owns it all. He owns all the cattle of the field and he's the one who has money. So don't be looking, to people to take care of you. They can help you, but they're not there to take care of you. It's God who provides. And he does that in a million ways. So that's what I got for now, guys. Just really impressed with Focus on the Family, opening the door to what I was saying and being willing to communicate. And that is so important, like I said, for women to have that communication and solving things instead of just broken relationship here. And I know what that's like because I've been through it with being disowned by my father. My mother didn't want a relationship. My grandmother, who was a strong Catholic, she would say to me, "You are a Catholic because I am." And I'm like, "No, I am a Christian, and that is who I am." So she was really offended that I wasn't a Catholic. Um, and just losing family, one after the other as I was raising my kids, just them falling off like, just like, flies falling off all around me, losing family just by staying focused and doing what I needed to do in life, which was to take care of my family and to teach them about God and to turn everything around. And just by doing that, I lost family left and right. People who didn't understand, people who were offended, people who were like, "Oh, Dick can't be a grandfather." Mike McCarr would be like, "Dick can't be a grandfather." And I remember running into him at Walmart one day, him and his wife, and these are people who are like my brothers and sisters, right? So I become a Christian, they all think I'm crazy. And Mike gave me the dirtiest look when we were in Walmart. I was with my son Alex, and he gave me the dirtiest look because he was ticked off because I wouldn't do whatever my father wanted. So, you're going to lose people in life for being a Christian. You want to count the cost. So, my point is, don't be a Sue Happy person. Life is short, and I'm really impressed in this work situation with how it was dealt with. And, people's skills are so important. Even today, I was at the gym. We had a situation come up, and the lady was very kind about it. And, you just got to have the people skills to get past it. So that's what I have for now, guys. Thanks for joining me.